Today I'm going to show you my Tinkercad printable shortcut list and a trick with the new tape measure, so let's get cracking. We're going to start today at my website HLModTech.com. Of course, I've got a page dedicated to Tinkercad with all sorts of amazing categories. Below that you'll find the Day 1 favorites, the useful starters, and the Tinkercad essentials. We're here today so we can quickly get to the HLModTech digital library. This is a Google Sheet. You can get here also using the bit.ly up above. It is where I'm trying to take my 5,000 lessons and make them a little more organized. Of course, we start with beginner lessons, then basic skills, and then you can move on to other awesome things, including ways to reach me. Lots of levels for you to check out, all full of amazing things, but what I want to take you to today is the printable shortcuts. On this page, you can only view them, but if you click on Printable V3, you can launch an image that is shared via Imager, and you can click on this and you can download it and save it for printing. So with that completed, this is Tinkercad.com, the absolute easiest place to learn computer-aided design. It is 100% free. I simply choose Sign In with Google. Today we're going to hit Create Brand New 3D Design. I like to start by naming projects. We're going to call this one New Tips. Now, if you've never used Tinkercad before, I have a playlist of Day 1 tutorials. You can find it with this bit.ly right here. Super quickly, in Tinkercad, we can bring shapes out. We can stack them on top of each other. This is called cruising. I'm going to set these two right beside each other. I will show you quickly. You can select them, choose L for align. Pick one to be the master and choose center so it lines it up. If we choose center, it goes there. If you don't like what you just did, you can do Control Z. There's also a ruler. I'm going to hit R for ruler. We could also bring it out from right there. I'm going to set it at this location. Now when I click the shape, it tells me the distance away, -1 and 24, and the size 20 by 20. Now if you click on this and set it to 0, press enter, it snaps to that location. Same thing here, 0 and snap. You can also use midpoints. Now it shows the distance, half, 10 of the 20. Notice if I switch, now I can say that from this shape to the midpoint, it is 78 millimeters away from that shape because I lined those up earlier. Now recently we got a new tool called the tape measure. You can get to it with letter I. If I click on my shape, notice this is from a face and it goes to the center. You can also move to the corners, and then we can go to faces. I'm going to orbit so I'm looking underneath, see how I can get right to the center of that shape. And then you can just type numbers. Watch this, I'm going to type 60 and move it away a little bit. I can also make one of them the master, so see how that turned red. Now when I type 40, it moves that one. If I click this one, and I type 25, it moves the yellow one. So you can pick which one you want to do the moving. I do want to quickly highlight that if you bring in an SVG or an STL, you can actually use this on that shape. Notice it lets me select edges, and I can go across to find what the distance was approximately side to side. Now I set this one to 5, so I knew that's what it was going to be, but it just lets you see how you can measure all sorts of things that we used to not be able to in Tinkercad. As I wrap up, of course, I hope you find the printable shortcuts useful, and I'd love to hear what you think of the brand new Tinkercad tape measure. Of course, I do want to say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Make sure you also pay attention for those members only post. A massive shout out as well to everybody that supports me via Patreon. Love how that group is growing. We're way past 600 members. There's a fantastic free messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe. You're helping HLModTech get just a little bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day, and keep tinkering.